good vibes. I don't want no negative vibes around me. I'm not dealing with no negative vibes from this day forward, man. I don't want no negative vibes around me. I'm straight. I don't want that energy around me, ho.
Before the world discovered that MoneyBagg Yo was having an affair with Lil Baby behind his back, he was having the time of his life with his girlfriend Ari Fletcher. Let's examine how this convoluted issue developed and MoneyBagg's actual response to the revelation of the truth. For those who are unaware, Memphis, Tennessee is home to one of the sexiest rappers, MoneyBagg Yo, renowned for both his well-publicized romance with Ari Fletcher and his street songs. Ari Fletcher, whose actual name is Ariana Fletcher, is a Chicago-based social media influencer and businesswoman who has gained notoriety over the years. Through her enterprises and brand, she has amassed millions of fans and created her own empire. Since 2019, MoneyBagg and Ari have been dating, and their relationship has been well publicized on social media. With Lamborghinis, Birkin bags, and other pricey presents, the guy has been lavishing her with lavish attention. They appeared to be the ideal power couple. Together, they flaunted their success, with him creating singles in the studio and her developing her brand. However, some really messy kind was developing behind all those public shows of devotion and Instagram pictures. The streets had been chatting about Ari and other guys for a minute, but no one actually had the receipts to support their claims. That is, until lately, when everything fell apart in the most visible way imaginable. The fact that this has been going on for so long without MoneyBagg knowing only makes the situation more bizarre. Or perhaps he was aware of it but decided to disregard it because he was pursuing his own interests on the side. Ari Fletcher is also not your typical Instagram model. Shorty had her own wealth, her own companies, and her own fan base. She wasn't only relying on MoneyBagg because she had been developing her brand on her own. She was probably able to move as she pleased without worrying about the repercussions because of her freedom. We have to go back to the beginning of the rumors in order to comprehend how we got here. It all started with Woo Lady, a blogger. She revealed some significant information on the entire matter. She said that there had been arguments regarding Lil Baby between Ari Fletcher and another influencer, Tatiana Chanel. For those who don't know, Tatiana Chanel is Boston Richie's girlfriend. She gained popularity on social media due to their poisonous relationship. However, it seems that she was also involved with Lil Baby, which is where things became tricky. The fact that several women were reportedly fighting over Lil Baby demonstrates how chaotic the entire event was. Using code names for each person involved, Woo Lady was revealing all the information. She referred to Tatiana Voodoo, Jada Weta Lashes, and Ari Fletcher Lip Gloss. She claimed that Witchcraft and Lip Gloss were openly battling for Lashes' baby daddy.
Lip Gloss and Voodoo Dog fighting for Lashes. Lip Gloss cuss Lashes because she found out Voodoo Dog is on that dick too.
According to her, the entire event was so clear that everyone could see it from Times Square. According to Woo Lady, this was not a covert matter that was being kept quiet. There were several persons who were aware of this blatant disrespectful behavior. She said they could see the situation clearly as they walked to Times Square. In other words, it was so clear to anyone who was listening.
And it's on, like, you can see it in New York, like in Times Square. Like it's like 3D, it's like right there. Like everyone can see the bullshit. Like it's right there for you. Yes. So when we went to Times Square and we seen it, we said no. We said no.
At this point, the reasons behind the breakdown of Ari Fletcher and Jada Weta's friendship began to become clear. In the past, these two were close, posting together, helping one another out with their businesses, and everything. They would appear to be true friends, attend each other's events, and leave comments on each other's posts. However, Jada's behavior toward Ari changed, and no one was really sure why. People speculated that Jada might simply be envious of Ari's success. Given that Ari was living such an opulent lifestyle and receiving such costly presents from MoneyBagg Yo, however, we now understand why Jada withdrew from that friendship. She discovered that her alleged friend was secretly playing with her baby daddy. Jada Weta's decision to stop being silent was the turning point. She was questioned about the reports concerning Ari and Lil Baby in the comments section of a TikTok live session. Jada directly affirmed the question rather than sidestepping it or leaving it open. When someone brought up the accusations, she was talking about her skincare regimen and how she had been taking spironolactone before beginning Accutane. Them rumors are true. No shade, that's been going on. That's been a thing. Jada added without hesitation, but I don't want to talk about that. I mean, let's not discuss that at all.
Them rumors are true. No shade, that's been going on, that's been a thing. But I don't want to talk about that. Like literally, let's not talk about that.
She said it in such a nonchalant way, as if she were simply reiterating what everyone already knew. She didn't feel anything about it. She had no intention of stirring up trouble. She was merely presenting the facts. That informal affirmation struck a different note because it indicated that this was not a recent realization for her. She had never encountered this circumstance before. She wasn't finished though. Ben, like this wasn't no recent thing. This has been happening for a long time. Jada Wida claims that one word, Ben, captured the essence of the situation when commenters pointed out that she didn't falter on that confirmation. This was no recent development or new fling. For months, perhaps possibly years, this condition had persisted. Social media was rocked by this confirmation. This was the mother of Lil Baby's child, confirming that her baby daddy had been playing around with MoneyBagg Yo's girl. With this information, the streets went nuts because it was no longer simply conjecture and rumors. It was coming directly from someone who would undoubtedly be aware of it. Many historical events were also explained by the date of Jada Wida's discovery. Do you recall Ari Fletcher and Jada Wida's joint appearance on Impact 8? There was a lot of tension between them, and Ari Fletcher thought Jada Wida was being humorous to her. We now understand why. Jada Wida was already aware of what was happening behind the scenes at that performance. The awkwardness between them was visible to viewers. Ari Fletcher persisted in attempting to ascertain the reason behind Jada Wida's lack of warmth toward her, but she received no answers. Everything makes clear now. It's likely that Jada Wida was sitting there contemplating how this girl was making fun of her while teasing her infant father. Jada Wida was attempting to handle the situation with some class, as evidenced by the length of time she kept this information to herself. She had the opportunity to reveal this long ago, but instead of doing so, she decided to keep her distance from Ari Fletcher. However, she felt compelled to verify what she already knew when the stories began to circulate in public. This is where things become extremely messy. Since 2019, Ari Fletcher has been a member of MoneyBagg Yo. Therefore, if Jada Wida is speaking the truth, she has been unfaithful to her partner for years. Here's what makes this situation even more bizarre though. Ari Fletcher has already been accused of infidelity. Do you recall when Cardi B came out and accused Ari Fletcher of having an affair with Offset while they were still married? Cardi B claims that Ari Fletcher was one of Offset's side women while they were married. For Ari Fletcher, this pattern of behavior is nothing new. Shorty appears to have a predilection for men, particularly rappers who are already in committed partnerships. Cardi B had to cope with learning that her husband was cheating on her with several women, including Ari Fletcher, which made the Offset situation unpleasant as well. Ari Fletcher's willingness to engage with married guys was demonstrated by the circumstance. Therefore, it's not shocking that she got entangled in MoneyBagg Yo's problem while she was already in a relationship. What's crazy though, is how Ari Fletcher responded to the news. The majority of individuals would be rushing to repair the damage, attempting to deny everything or giving lengthy justifications on social media. But not Ari Fletcher. The world now knew that Shorty was reportedly cheating on her spouse, but she didn't appear to care at all. Social media users were going crazy as they waited for Ari Fletcher to reply, give an explanation, or make a statement. However, she continued to publish her usual stuff as if nothing had occurred. She continued to share her lifestyle content, company promos, and exercise videos while pretending that the biggest romance scandal of the year had not occurred. People assumed there might be some sort of planned retaliation on her part because of that kind of response. Perhaps she wanted this information to come out, based on the way she was moving so casually. Perhaps she had had enough of being the one embarrassed by MoneyBagg Yo's infidelity and felt it was time for him to experience the same humiliation. You see, MoneyBagg Yo hasn't exactly been the most devoted man either. He has repeatedly been caught cheating on Ari Fletcher throughout the years. He was dating Ari Fletcher when the girl from his hometown came forward with receipts proving they had been communicating. This female had pictures of them together, screenshots of their talks, and even proof that he had sent her money. Another incident occurred when a woman shared screenshots of their talks, demonstrating that MoneyBagg Yo was undoubtedly cheating on him, even though he was supposed to be committed to Ari Fletcher. She received text messages from him expressing how much he missed her and making plans to meet her. Another instance was when an Atlanta stripper came out and said she had been having affairs with MoneyBagg Yo for months. She had films, pictures, and other proof of their relationship. Ari Fletcher would always appear foolish in these situations, whereas MoneyBagg Yo would dismiss them as unimportant. Ari Fletcher would post mysterious things on social media every time MoneyBagg Yo was caught cheating, but she always won him back. While he was out here making her appear crazy, she would be posting about loyalty and sticking by your mate. She would protect him and pretend everything was alright, even though her fans would be telling her to break up with him in her comments. It was always the same pattern. It would reveal MoneyBagg Yo. Ari Fletcher would feel humiliated and wounded. After a few days, they would resume posting each other as if nothing had happened. Even though she had posted some subtle messages about being mistreated, MoneyBagg Yo would purchase a costly present for her. Everything would return to normal after their vacation. However, there's a limit to how many times you can make someone feel embarrassed before they decide to win you back. Perhaps this whole thing with Lil Baby was her method of exacting retribution. Consider it. Would you not want to get your partner back if he had been publicly cheating on you and shaming you in front of millions of followers? Making fun of another popular rapper, especially Lil Baby, who is undoubtedly more successful and wealthy, is the best way to damage a rapper's ego. For the past few years, Lil Baby has been one of the most popular rappers in the industry. His tours sell out, his CDs achieve platinum status, and his streaming figures are insane. Ari Fletcher's manipulation of him while she's with MoneyBagg Yo is therefore an upgrade in every sense of the word. People on the streets have been calling Lil Baby's trick bill absurd. He has a reputation for spending a lot of money on ladies. We've witnessed him treat ladies to a lifestyle that most people can only imagine, including buying them automobiles and taking them on lavish vacations. Therefore, it would be the height of disrespect if he was providing for Ari Fletcher's financial needs while she was still with MoneyBagg Yo. She is not just unfaithful, but the side guy is paying her more than her real partner. Any male would be offended by that kind of disrespect. But MoneyBagg Yo, who has been showing off his skills to take care of his girlfriend, would be particularly affected. It appears that another man was caring for her more effectively than he was. The timing of everything's revelation also raises the possibility that Ari Fletcher was prepared for the relationship to terminate nonetheless. To make MoneyBagg Yo appear foolish for once, she chose to let this scenario unfold in public rather than ending their relationship discreetly. She finally got her retribution after he had embarrassed her with his infidelity for years. People were anticipating MoneyBagg Yo's reaction when the news first surfaced. Would he lose it on social media? Would he make an effort to refute it? Would he go straight after Lil Baby? Would he make an effort to regain Ari Fletcher? Everyone was eager to see how he would respond to this kind of public humiliation, so there was an insane amount of expectation. However, the most significant aspect of this entire event was most likely MoneyBagg Yo's response. Rather than confronting the accusations had on MoneyBagg, Yo flaunted $500,000 in cash in an Instagram story. Heaps and heaps of cash, as if he was attempting to prove his goodness to everyone. He didn't care. Whatever was going on in his personal life, he was still winning. The cash appeared to be genuine because it was spread out on what appeared to be a table or bed with bands around each stack. He simply posted the money and let it speak for itself without adding a comment or discussing the circumstances. Let's face it though, that kind of response typically indicates the reverse of what it is attempting to convey. When someone is exposed in this way and their initial response is to flaunt money, it usually indicates that they are in pain and are attempting to hide it. MoneyBagg Yo was unable to publicly display his feelings of embarrassment, disdain, and being played. Displaying that kind of vulnerability in the rap industry might damage your credibility and reputation. Consider it from his point of view. For years, your girl has been having an affair with another rapper. The world just got confirmation from his baby mama, and suddenly everyone is staring at you as if you were an idiot who had no idea what was happening in your own relationship. Any man would be disturbed by that kind of public humiliation, especially one as well known as MoneyBagg Yo. His money flex was his way of saying, "I'm still good, I'm still getting money, I don't need her." However, anyone who has experienced relationship turbulence understands that you don't have to prove it to anyone when you truly don't care. It clearly affected him since he felt compelled to post that money. The fact that MoneyBagg Yo and Lil Baby are in the same social circles only serves to muddle matters further. Both of them are successful rappers. They most likely have friends in common. The same events have been attended by them. Thus, this is more than just a breakup. This has to do with respect in the workplace and on the streets. One of the major forms of disrespect in hip-hop culture is when a man takes your wife. Losing the relationship isn't the only issue. It has to do with being weak and losing the respect of your peers. Rappers will now view MoneyBagg Yo differently, questioning whether he truly was unaware of the situation or whether he was aware of it but was powerless to stop it. It's possible that Ari Fletcher will benefit from the entire incident. She has the opportunity to end a relationship in which she was being openly cheated on while still having the last laugh. She may also be improving her lifestyle if the reports that Lil Baby is providing for her financially are accurate. Instead of only being the victim of MoneyBagg Yo's deceit, she also gets to keep her reputation as someone who doesn't play when it comes to disrespect. She changed the course of events and started cheating herself. She most likely gained some respect from those who were sick of watching her get played thanks to that kind of power move. However, this is a huge loss for MoneyBagg Yo. Not only did he lose his girl, but the entire world is aware that he lost her to another rapper. A man's confidence and reputation might be negatively impacted by such public humiliation. People will be considering this scenario whenever he performs now. The absurd thing is that if they had both been honest from the start, the entire scenario might have been averted. Perhaps Ari Fletcher wouldn't have felt the urge to exact revenge if MoneyBagg Yo hadn't been unfaithful. Instead of skulking around, Ari Fletcher might have simply departed if she wasn't happy. However, ego and pride prevented them from both making wise choices. However, it is the nature of these celebrity partnerships. Too much money, too too much pride, and too much public pressure to make it work, even when it's obviously failing. Both of them now had to cope with the fallout from this chaotic event that was being witnessed by millions of people. The entire event has sparked an insane response on social media as well. People have been siding, with some praising Ari Fletcher for exacting her retribution, and others condemning her for cheating rather than simply walking away. Team Ari Fletcher has been arguing that he deserved this kind of treatment after all the times he cheated on her, while Team MoneyBagg Yo has been arguing that he didn't deserve it. Ultimately, this whole thing simply demonstrates that fame and wealth don't shield you from everyday interpersonal problems. The pain of infidelity and betrayal is the same whether you have $500,000 to brag about or you're simply an ordinary person. The main distinction is that when you are well known, everyone can see how your business is developing in real time. However, MoneyBagg Yo will be fine. There are plenty of other ladies out there, and he is still generating hits and earning money. However, he will undoubtedly be affected by this circumstance for some time, and he will recall the events of this entire situation each time Lil Baby or Ari Fletcher are brought up. Only time will tell if Ari Fletcher and Lil Baby are genuinely attempting to create something lasting, or if this was just a brief act of retaliation. However, this entire event has only demonstrated that anyone can be taken advantage of in the game of relationships and love. No matter how wealthy or well-known you are, people will be watching to see what happens next in this story, because, in my opinion, it's not finished yet.